sweet potato fries. Sweet potato fries.
Green tea and honey, baby.
Good afternoon, good evening. It's 8 p.m. UK time. That makes it, I think, midday where Max is. We're back. Ignite Your Purpose, the podcast, the transatlantic dynamic duo, doing our thing each and every day from us to you with love. We're sharing some experiences in life, some learnings, some knowledge, some failings, some growth. And hopefully, somewhere along the way, you'll get just that little bit of value from something. It'll give you that little nudge in the ass, like not a nudge in the ass, but that little kick in the ass.
There you go.
To make that step to be better on your journey each and every day. So
better every day, all day.
Each and every day, negative to positive, unhealthy to healthy, redefining age as we all go. So at the weekend, I did my event. You've probably heard of all that now, so we'll try and not to talk about that anymore. Apart from, it was good, and I can't sign up yet, but I'm doing it again.
Crazy. Attaboy.
I'm not doing it. I'm doing it again. So unfinished business. Next year, we'll apply some
training
technique and some training and apply myself for it. But off the back of one of our podcasts, we had a question from my friend Jake Taylor, who's online right now. So
Jake, what's up, brother?
I think we got a viewer, so that may be him. And he said, guys, this is an interesting video for me. I don't know whether it's because I'm a young guy and I have the ego, but I would 100% have told myself to finish the race at all costs. Especially now having recently done, he did an Ironman with me in Copenhagen last year.
Nice.
I feel there is a little more pressure to finish these races after completing such a globally known hard race. But maybe I should take a bit of that on board for future reference. It could help me to avoid that big injury. Nevertheless, it wouldn't be easy to pull out of an event. Hats off, John Boy. So, Max, I'll let you internalize those words. I think you read the question earlier on our feed.
Yep.
Spit some venom, friend.
Some venom is going to be spit. So first off, I would say, it's not just because of his age that we have ego. I mean, I've met 95-year-olds with ego. I've met 2-year-olds with ego. We all have an ego. We're all human. So ego is what it is, man. A lot of people look at it like a negative, but it's part of us. It's a good thing as well as a bad thing. You just got to know how to control it. I will say this, he talked about an injury, right? And I talked to you on Sunday and I said, I've done the same thing in CrossFit. I've done the same thing in competitions, being the smallest man. Maybe I think I have something to prove. I do not know, but I do the same things. I lift crazy weights for my size that, and I can do it, but it's not good, right? Like for the long-term goal. So I will say this, A, you got to know your long-term goal. And B, when you're doing stuff like this, your body, it doesn't matter what we're doing to it. It is considered stress to your body, right? So John, simple task of walking, but he walks so far, man. That is a stress on the body. So you have to know what it is to heal, what it is to eat the proper nutrition, what it is to sleep, rest, relax, recover. There is a whole schwack that goes in. So again, this goes back to the first thing I said is you got to know your purpose. You got to know why you're there. If it is just to complete, well, then you know that and you got to deal with the consequences that is, right? If it's there to have fun, enjoy, hang with your boys, whatever, that's a whole nother story. But if it's there to compete and you're trying to get to a certain level, injury is part of it then. I mean, ask any of the most elite athletes. I was just hanging with one yesterday, man. A good friend of mine, he's an Olympian, and the guy's like 20, I'm going to say 4. I'll say 22 to 29, in that range somewhere. He's had his shoulder work on, his both knees worked on. He's part bionic at such a young age, right? So you have to understand, the guy hits 30, 35, 40. What's he going to be? Sore. But he's also got a game plan. Yeah, he's got a game plan. He's doing what he's doing. So, you take the good with the bad. You take the ego with the non-ego, right? It is part of you, and I guess at the end, you got to know what you're doing it for. That's my 2 cents, Johnny.
We have a subject for tomorrow. I know we're not supposed to plan this ahead.
We're not.
But it came up today. I heard this on the Gary Vaynerchuk little clip. I've seen it before 2 or 3 times. And it said 3 words. And Gary says, "You're gonna die."
Amen.
We're going to talk about that on the morrow. But right for now.
On the morrow. See, we don't say shit like that on this side of the world. On the morrow.
I'm in life for the long haul. 100 years. Let's call it 100 years. You live a long life, aiming for 120, hope to get to 100. I'm in this to live the life and to the max each and every day. And I recorded a little reply to Jake earlier. Nice. And ultimately, you can't unknow what you know. No. So I've been reading and researching and applying and experimenting over 5 years now with sort of this health, nutrition and wellness and stress and meditation and mindfulness, all of these things. And you can't unknow what you know. And I know that if I do certain things to my body, it causes it damage. And therefore, what I aim to do is, although I'd like to get the maximum out of any activity that I choose to do, there is a conscious point when you know you're either healing your body or you're harming it. You're either fueling it for the future or you're destroying its ability to repair and rebuild. And once you know how that works, you have to apply it. So I got to the point on that walk and I said,
that's huge, brother.
I could go on. I'd be weaving all over the road like we saw some guys a bit further down the road. But what physical damages am I doing to myself? And nobody gives a fuck. Excuse me. What happened yesterday? We might have a million viewers today, but we die tomorrow. There's an earthquake. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So it's about just being true to yourself each and every day, and whether that's to ensure that future down your road you don't get an injury, mega. If that means that I start to eat healthy now, you prevent heart disease. That doesn't begin when you're 60. It begins at school. Email me. I'll send you the science. Fascinating. You leave college with your diploma and heart disease. 100% of autopsies in America, 18 to 30, 18 to 35, 100% of those kids, whether it was, a natural death, a murder or whatever, 100% of them had marbling in the arteries, which is the first stage of heart disease.
That's true.
That's when it begins. And so if we can prevent that shit from happening, we ensure that the years we live are more functional and active and valuable, so that we live it. We're not losing our abilities to move, to listen, to see, to communicate, and to engage with these human beings around us that we hope we can connect with and bring them value. And likewise, they share their energy with us. And life is then of value.
Truth.
There you go.
Truth. And just to wrap it up, I'll say this again. I'll say know your why, really. Like Simon Sinek says all the time, know your why. Like if it's just to compete, then it's just to compete. But if it's for the long haul, then know what these stresses and everything, your body considers everything a stress, whether back in the day it was running from a saber-toothed tiger, or today I'm going to do heavy deadlifts and heavy clean and jerk, right? My body at the end of the day is going to go, what the hell just happened? You stressed me out. Meaning all your internal organs, all my head, although there's a benefit to it, it still takes it at stress. So that means what? I got to eat properly tonight. I got to sleep. I got to probably rest tomorrow. Now, what I used to do would be like tomorrow I would go crazy and do another 4 hours of training. But what is my why?
Yeah.
If I was going to the Olympics or I was, a cage fighter or something like that, cool. But if I'm just trying to go to 150 like you, John, then this is not beneficial for me. And you got to understand, John, some of us, put in 8 to 10 hours, 12, 15 hours hustling as well, right? Like whether we work, whether we go to school. So you got to add all that shit. That's all considered stress. So just know your why.
And maybe just one more thing is talking about stress. And you said for there, whether it's exercise but it's stress. And stress is on so many different levels. When we go into stress, it's the fight and flight situation, and when that happens, the body shuts down its unrequired systems. Like that might be
that's your healing system,
digestion, for example, or healing, because it's
immunity
100% into running the fuck away from that tiger. Now, what's supposed to happen is we run to the next hill or climb a tree, and then we reset. But in this day and age, we go to the next, then to the next, then to the next. So our body is so shut down from these certain bodily functions for such a period of time. This is when dysfunction and our immune system compromised. Compromised because we never start healing, and that healing, a major part of that is when you go to bed and you sleep and you get that quality sleep, which is about what you do before you go to bed, what you do after you get up in the morning, before we start doing this and start stressing again immediately about employees, work, materials, what fucking may happen in America or North Korea. So, mega ramble, a million subjects.
Beautiful. I love it.
All over the place. Jake, who I think is listening right now, thank you, my friend.
Love you, brother. Appreciate it.
We do appreciate it. So we'll see you all on tomorrow's episode.
Everyone is at 1%.
There we go.
My phone's at 1%, brother. I'm losing you. So
okay, from us to you, thank you. We appreciate you, Max. Have a great day. Dinner and bed for me, and we'll speak to you later on.
Talk to you more, people. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.